Glamour, glamour, and sin. Lights, cameras, scandal. Hollywood's golden stars are shining too bright, and for the wrong reasons. From red carpets to police reports, we're peeling back the layers of glamour to expose the darkest secrets of showbiz. Warning, if you're a truth lover, this is the video for you. Morgan Freeman, the man whose voice could soothe a thunderstorm, suddenly found himself narrating a story he'd rather not star in. In 2018, the beloved Hollywood icon was accused by several women of inappropriate behavior that sounded straight out of a bad script. From uninvited touching to comments that could make a teleprompter blush, Freeman's reputation took a turn even plot twists couldn't fix. One production assistant said he kept trying to lift her skirt while filming Going in Style, 2015. Another recalled him making suggestive remarks about her outfit during Now You See Me, 2012. According to crew members, this wasn't exactly a one-time oops moment. It was something everyone on set quietly tried to manage. You know things are bad when part of your job description becomes "don't get left alone with the star." When the accusations surfaced, Freeman didn't lash out or deny everything. Instead, he gave what might be the most Morgan Freeman apology ever. Calm, thoughtful, and carefully worded. He said he never meant to make anyone uncomfortable, but by then, the damage was already written in the script. It was a harsh reminder that even Hollywood's wisest voice can find himself caught in the noise of his own actions. Proof that not every legend's legacy sounds as smooth as their narration. Kevin Spacey, once the smooth-talking villain we love to hate, ended up playing the darkest role of his career, himself. In 2017, actor Anthony Rapp dropped a bombshell, accusing Spacey of making advances toward him when he was just 14. That opened the floodgates. One by one, more men came forward, sharing stories that turned the Hollywood A-lister's reputation from two-time Oscar winner to career cautionary tale. The fallout was brutal. Netflix didn't just drop him, they erased him. House of Cards continued without its lead, and Spacey went from dominating the screen to disappearing off it entirely. Legal troubles followed him across the Atlantic, with cases surfacing in both the United States and the United Kingdom. The man once praised for his control and charm was suddenly battling headlines instead of scripts. Through it all, Spacey denied every accusation, calling them false and malicious. But Hollywood has a short memory and an even shorter tolerance for scandal. Overnight, the man who could mesmerize an audience with a whisper found himself silenced. It's almost poetic. Frank Underwood finally got written out of the story, and this time, there was no clever monologue to save him. Danny Masterson, the chill guy from that 70s show, ended up in a real-life courtroom drama no one had on their watch list. Behind the laughs and retro vibes, a much darker story was playing out. In the early 2000s, 3 women from the Church of Scientology came forward accusing Masterson of serious misconduct, claiming he used his fame and power in deeply inappropriate ways. The church, they said, tried to keep it quiet, but the truth has a way of finding its spotlight. When the accusations hit, Netflix quickly cut ties and removed him from the ranch, erasing the once popular Hyde character from screens. After years of investigations and trials, the case finally reached a verdict in 2023. Masterson was found guilty of severe offenses and handed a 30-year sentence. He continues to maintain his innocence and has appealed the decision, saying the truth will clear his name. But for a man once loved for his sarcasm and smooth delivery, life's script has turned into a long, tense pause. From sitcom fame to courtroom headlines, Danny's downfall proves that in Hollywood, even the biggest stars can lose the spotlight in a single act. Steven Seagal, the ponytailed action hero who once single-handedly saved planes, trains, and entire nations, couldn't fight his way out of this one. Off-screen, his life started sounding less like Under Siege and more like Under Scrutiny. Over the years, several actresses, including Portia de Rossi, Juliana Margulies, and Rachel Grant, accused Seagal of deeply inappropriate behavior during auditions and rehearsals. One even claimed he brought a gun to a meeting, because apparently nothing says "trust me" like armed enlightenment. The stories followed a familiar pattern, an invitation to talk career opportunities that turned uncomfortably personal. Hollywood whispered, the tabloids shouted, and Seagal responded with his usual stoic calm, denying everything and blaming the rumors on jealous rivals. Yet the cloud never quite lifted. For a man known for snapping arms and delivering justice on screen, the irony hit hard. Fans who once saw him as the unstoppable martial arts lawman began seeing him as the headline nobody could dodge. Seagal might still call himself hard to kill, but when it comes to reputation, even the toughest action hero can take a hit that no black belt can fix. James Franco, Hollywood's golden boy turned art school heartbreaker, saw his reputation crumble faster than a bad student film. In 2018, 5 women, 4 of whom were students at his own acting school, accused him of using his teacher role for something far from educational. What started as a dream to learn acting turned into a masterclass in how to destroy your own career. The women claimed Franco pressured them into uncomfortable on-screen scenes and crossed lines no director should ever cross. Franco, known for his calm smirk and too cool for Hollywood vibe, denied everything at first. But then came the twist even his own script couldn't predict. He later admitted to having relationships with students, insisting they were consensual, though the power dynamic told a different story. The fallout was brutal. His school shut down in 2017, and by 2019, he was writing a $2.2 million check to settle a lawsuit. Projects were canceled, co-stars distanced themselves, and his career went from Oscar buzz to awkward silence. For a guy who once juggled acting, directing, and poetry, this scandal proved that even a Renaissance man can paint himself into a corner. One embarrassing headline at a time. Andy Dick, the comic who built a career on chaos, eventually discovered that real life doesn't come with a laugh track. Known for his wild humor and even wilder behavior, Andy's off-screen antics made more headlines than his jokes ever did. In 2018, the actor found himself in serious trouble after being convicted for inappropriate behavior toward an Uber driver. The court didn't think it was funny. He got 90 days behind bars and a place on the official Do Not Repeat list. But just when you thought the story was over, 2022 rolled around, and so did another arrest, this time for an unwanted incident involving another man. By now, Andy's rap sheet was starting to look longer than his IMDb credits. Once a staple of 90s comedy, he became Hollywood's walking cautionary tale, proof that the funny guy routine doesn't work when the cameras stop rolling. Still, Andy somehow manages to treat his scandals like punchlines, cracking jokes in interviews as if nothing happened. The problem? No one's laughing anymore. In a world where timing is everything, Andy Dick's timing, both on stage and in life, couldn't have been worse. John Travolta, the disco king of Saturday Night Fever and the smooth-talking pilot from Grease, suddenly found himself dancing to a tune no one wanted to hear. In 2012, multiple male massage therapists came forward with stories that sounded more like a plot from a bad late-night comedy than a wellness session. They claimed Travolta's hands-on approach went way beyond relaxation techniques. One even said the actor made inappropriate advances during a session at the Ritz-Carlton back in 2000. While most of the lawsuits were eventually dropped or dismissed, the damage to Travolta's squeaky clean image stuck around like glitter after a dance party, impossible to shake off. For decades, Travolta had managed to reinvent himself, from heartthrob to comeback king to Hollywood legend. But this scandal hit harder than a Pulp Fiction twist. Through it all, he stayed calm, denied the allegations, and let his lawyers do the talking. Still, for a man famous for his smooth moves, this was one stumble that couldn't be fixed with a quick spin on the dance floor. Because in Hollywood, once the spotlight turns awkward, even the best dancer can miss a step. Casey Affleck, the quiet, brooding younger brother of Ben, ended up in a drama that no award could edit out. Back in 2010, two women who worked with him on the mockumentary I'm Still Here accused him of serious misconduct on set. They described the environment as less creative genius and more HR nightmare. Casey denied everything but decided to settle the lawsuits privately, and Hollywood, as always, remembered. Fast forward to 2016. Affleck wins the Oscar for Manchester by the Sea. And just as he's giving his thank you speech, the internet dusted off his old case faster than you can say, award season scandal. Some cheered his talent. Others questioned how someone with that kind of baggage could hold the golden statue. The controversy turned the red carpet into a moral battlefield. Affleck tried to stay out of the drama, saying he'd learned from the experience and wanted to move forward. But in Hollywood, nothing stays buried. Not scripts, not secrets. For a man whose specialty is quiet intensity, Casey learned that silence isn't always golden. Sometimes it's just awkward under the spotlight. Richard Branson, the billionaire daredevil who built an empire on hot air balloons, rock music, and space dreams, suddenly found himself grounded by something far less glamorous. Virginia Giuffre, one of the most well-known accusers in the Jeffrey Epstein case, claimed that Branson was involved in inappropriate conduct on Epstein's infamous island. It was a shocking headline, the kind that makes even a man who's been to space want to hide on another planet. But unlike others tied to the Epstein scandal, Branson's name never made it past the rumor mill. No evidence surfaced, no charges were filed, and the claims stopped where they started, in speculation. The Virgin Group founder fired back immediately, calling the accusations baseless and completely false. For a guy who's made a career out of taking risks, from flying across oceans in balloons to launching rockets, this was one adventure he definitely didn't sign up for. Still, the story lingered, a dark cloud over a man who usually lives above them. In true Branson style, he kept smiling, kept skydiving, and reminded everyone that while his companies may have Virgin in the name, the gossip certainly wasn't innocent. Chris Noth, the man forever known as Mr. Big, from Sex and the City, found himself at the center of a scandal that was anything but romantic. In 2021, multiple women came forward with disturbing stories spanning from 2004 to 2015, accusing the once charming leading man of serious misconduct. Suddenly, the guy who used to sweep Carrie Bradshaw off her feet was being swept out of Hollywood instead. The fallout came fast. CBS cut him from The Equalizer, his talent agency dropped him overnight, and his high-profile brand deals vanished faster than one of Carrie's shoes in a New York taxi. Even his former co-stars from Sex and the City publicly distanced themselves, expressing support for the accusers. Noth, keeping his trademark cool, denied everything, insisting the encounters were consensual and the accusations false. For a man built on playing suave, confident charmers, this was the plot twist no one saw coming. One day he's sipping martinis in Manhattan, the next he's headline news for all the wrong reasons. It turns out being Mr. Big comes with a big price, especially when the fairy tale ends without a happily ever after. Drechsel, once hailed as the real-life superhero of American Ninja Warrior, went from scaling walls to hitting one head first. The athletic prodigy who could leap, flip, and conquer any obstacle met one challenge he couldn't outrun: the law. In 2020, the fan-favorite contestant was arrested on shocking charges involving a minor, a revelation that hit the Ninja Warrior community harder than any wipeout on the course. NBC moved faster than one of his famous jumps, deleting every clip, episode, and highlight featuring his name. For a man known as the real-life ninja, it was like being erased from his own dojo. Drechsel, meanwhile, denied all wrongdoing and claimed he was being misrepresented, but prosecutors painted a very different picture. The potential sentence? Up to 20 years behind bars, a long fall for someone who used to make climbing walls look effortless. His story serves as a harsh reminder that fame built on discipline can collapse with one bad decision. Once a symbol of determination and strength, Drechsel's legacy now stands as one of the biggest wipeouts in Ninja Warrior history. No replay needed. Hollywood may sparkle, but behind the spotlight lurk shadows that never fade. These stars once ruled the screen. Now they headline scandals no one wants to watch twice. Power, fame, and ego can turn heroes into hunters in a heartbeat. If you want more shocking Hollywood exposes, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn on notifications, because the next name we uncover might just be your favorite star.